want to change the world, you have to be the kind of man who can make the hardest decisions.
Alright guys, first and foremost, Sony just confirmed that Spider-Man Remastered is indeed on its way to the PCs for the first time, and will eventually release by August 12 this year. The remastered version, in case you're just wondering, will have a fast travel system now. It comes with a fine-tuned and smoother combat system, all previously released DLCs with additional missions, customizable options, and more. Check it out.
I'm gonna go,
Do your thing.
You can't just push people around like that.
Just ask for help next time.
Time to bring back the glory days.
Guys, first off, just a big thanks to Soft Start Technology. At last, we have The Legend of Sword and Fairy announced. In case you're unfamiliar with, first off, a series of RPGs that's been going on for over 25 years now. Together Forever here, the new game, will finally receive an English release on the PlayStation 4 and 5 only in worldwide, and releasing by August 4 this year. Check it out. To accompany the great news, the fine folks at the company also came out with this.
Guys,
You gotta do something to capture people's attention.
So what do we build next?
Alright, coming up at number 3, we've got Saints Row once again, pretty much after months and months of anticipation and rumors. See, eventually the game is now releasing on all platforms except Switch, obviously, August 23 this year. In case you're wondering, it'll be the first Saints Row game since Saints Row 4 2013, now featuring a completely new cast of characters. It'll feature a co-op multiplayer section too, and this is how it actually looks like.
They ask, what draws me out here? To the middle of nowhere. But hunters know, you're in the middle of everything. A world of opportunity and adventure.
Moving on, and this is probably one of the best things you're gonna hear today if you're a fan of simply just hunting games. See, THQ Nordic just went on and released a new trailer on The Way of the Hunter, and a release date of August 16th this year for PCs, Xbox Series X, and the PlayStation 5 only. See, if you're unfamiliar with The Way of the Hunter, this game is pretty much like the 2017's Call of the Wild, and technically a realistic open world hunting simulation game. Check it out.
But you can never underestimate nature's will to survive. Sometimes that's the way it goes, and that's the challenge. Every hunter knows there's always another chance, because no two hunts are ever the same. So prepare, persist, trust your raw instincts, and when it all comes together, the perfect spot. The perfect spot.
Guys, at number 5. Technically, about a few months ago, we finally came across the update that Thymesia is now set to finally come out August 9 this year. That it'll be finally released for PCs, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X only. And accompany the good news, they also released a new trailer on the old action RPG IP that was revealed first last year. Just in case you missed out, well, basically a Souls-like and one set in a world infested with some sort of a plague here. Coming up behind that, we have once again Atlas, actually no more than just a month ago, went on and released a new trailer on Soul Hackers 2. Well, technically a sequel to Devil Summoner Souls Hackers from almost, I don't know, 30 years ago. In case you're unfamiliar, however, a Japanese role-playing game at heart, and said that this one is on its way to all consoles and PCs August 26 this year. So just keep it in mind for now.
I didn't even know that was possible.
I suppose I'll take you up on your offer. For now. I'll help you prevent this end of the world or whatever you've been going on about.
So you're telling me this smooth-talking sweetheart who's out to save the whole world set some time aside just for little old me?
Your story doesn't really end here, right? You've got some unfinished business.
Alright guys, Bandai Namco not really just, but a couple of weeks ago, came out and announced that SD Gundam Battle Alliance, well technically the first of its kind of action RPGs, or so they say, is now due for consoles and PCs and Switch included, August 25 this year, and it'll actually now feature both a single player and a multiplayer co-op for up to 3 players at once. So yeah, to accompany this one, they actually released a new trailer, and this is how it actually looks like. Take a look.
You know the saying, get knocked down, get up again, that whole spiel. Well, it's time, partner. Time to rise up. Together.
See, around the same time last month, well, technically at the Summer Game Fest, we were finally blessed with the fact that the one and only Midnight Fight Express releases this year, and it'll be coming to consoles and PCs at the same time. Well, actually not really long after, we then came across the news that it'll be released August 23. We just got a new trailer for it too, in case you can't really wait for it to come out either. You might want to know there's a free demo available for it on Steam and the PlayStation Store too. Take a look.
Tonight, we wash this whole damn city down.
THQ Nordic, on the other hand, also just came out and revealed a new trailer for Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Well, technically how the split-screen co-op section works, especially in the old open-world environment and all the multiplayer elements of the thing. Apparently, as you can see, well, both players will now have a separate minimap, which I'm not really sure if it's a good idea. There will be even more maps and some other stuff. We'll take a look. Well, DA Humans Reprobed releases August 30th this year, and it'll be a next generation console exclusive in addition to PCs at the same time. Next up, we've got first on this list so far, a pretty almost brand new science fiction based third-person dungeon crawler with something going by the name Earth's Shadow. This game is available on Steam right now through a demo and said to be coming out fully by August 3rd this year, and for PCs only. Because you should know it's got a story mode, some role-playing elements, and also a randomly generated system, hence the dungeon crawling section of the game. Check it out, just in case you missed it. Coming up next, we've got once again Scath. Scath, as you see, was technically announced only 2 months ago. We heard back then that the game is coming to both generation of consoles and PCs, and that we're getting hands on the thing finally in about a few weeks. Well, as you can see, the game is now releasing August 31st. Scath actually promises some pretty intense blood splattering shooting stuff, doing the old Dooms and Demons things, and it's looking pretty interesting, specifically because here you play the role of a guy named Scath, which is some dude in charge of all legions of hell. We'll take a look.
Field sense changes the foundation of how you play.
Madden NFL 23, on the other hand, is also on its way to pretty much all platforms August 16th this year. Technically, as always, coming over with some improvements, this time around giving fans a greater control over the on-field action, a better animation overall we hear, and technically that's just it. Coming up behind that, pretty much a first for its developers, we have a not too long ago announced a game called XBX, which is a 4-player arena brawler that's been in the making for years, we hear, and now finally scheduled for release in about a month. Well, this game, in case you have missed out on, is as you can see pretty much inspired by movies like Godzilla, so just as kaijus, I would assume you get to cause all kinds of chaos, tearing buildings, and eventually fight other kaijus, I would assume too. Check it out, this game is releasing August 5 this year for all consoles and PCs except Switch.
Welcome to the fascinating world of Tinykin. Tinykin are extraordinary little creatures.
Moving on, we've got Tinykin, that was actually announced during the recently aired Future Games show. Well, upon release, we also got a release of August 30th for the game, in addition to the fact that it's now coming to the PlayStation, Xbox consoles, Switch, and PCs all together. The game, as you can see, is a 3D puzzle platformer, actually described by the developers as an eye-catching indie Pikmin-inspired IP, where you play as a astronaut named Milo. Take a look.
Stand back, unless you want a blue Tinykin to zap you with a powerful electric current. And that's everything. Wait, what's this? Well, look. There's Daniel, a red Tinykin. Adorable. With an immensely fiery temper.
And in the arena, there will only be the victorious and the dead.
At number 15, and this is surprisingly actually one of the most anticipated IPs due this August, since Sony's State of Play this year, we have something going on here called Roller Drum. Technically, what is described by the fine folks as a stylish dystopian roller skating game in which you get to actually use firearms to defeat your competitors in some sort of a derby-style combat. Check it out, this game's on its way to PCs and the PlayStation consoles only August 16th.
Is watching in
First sight of the school gates, the scent of a leather-bound book, the faint clatter of knights jousting. Well, I can't say I remember that part, though it wasn't like this in my day.
Moving on, we have what's going on here called 2 Point Campus. Something, well, technically if you're into management sim games or have previously played 2 Point Hospital, would probably be something right up your alley. Why? Well, first of all, it is actually the sequel to 2 Point Hospital, and it almost works pretty identical to that, albeit with different challenges in a different setting, well, technically a school. Here, this game is releasing August 9 for consoles and PCs, and already available through a free demo on Steam.
Sometimes you still can't get the staff. Yes, these days it really does feel as though anything is possible.
At number 17, well, pretty much inspired by the old Rocket League game, we have Turbo Golf Racing. Technically, well, as described by developers, as a single player and multiplayer for up to 8 players racing competing game, where you'd be doing a lot of jumping, flipping, blowing stuff, and eventually getting an enormous golf ball into some sort of a goal. But here, Turbo Golf Racing is available now on Steam through a demo, and the full game releases August 4th as a Microsoft exclusive. Check it out, just in case you missed it.
You are the mighty lamb in Massive Monster and Devolver Digital's Cult of the Lamb.
And last but not least, by one bit, this is probably one of the most hyped platformers releasing this whole year. We have, well, last but not least, Cult of the Lamb, launching August 11 for PC, Switch, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles too. For those of you who missed it, Cult of the Lamb was technically one of the nicest surprise reveals from Gamescom last year. It's been in the making for a few years now, and this is how it actually looks like. Do make sure to check this one out if you actually do like roguelikes.
Rules of your cult. Draw power from your followers by giving daily sermons and watch their faith grow. Step 2. Satisfy the faithful. As the mighty lamb, you have to tend to your flock. Lead them, feed them, and build your small community into a thriving woodland cult. Throw a grand feast, shower them with gifts, or maybe marry a follower. Keep your flock happy and your shrines will shine with their devotion. If the needs of your followers are not met, however, they will begin to lose faith. Step 3. Cleanse the non-believers. Unhappy followers will rise against you and try to persuade the others to leave the cult. Will you gently re-educate them in the ways of the Lamb, or perform dark rituals and sacrifice them to the gods? It's up to you what kind of cult leader you become. Starting a cult is no easy ride. You'll scavenge for resources and battle heretics, but righteous victory will be yours.